morning. I'm not even sure that I am live. Something seems to have gone a bit wrong. Let's have a look. Let's have a look and see what's going on. Because my screen has frozen. Now, I'm not even sure that I am. Oh, so I'm live, but my screen has frozen. Okay, so let's try that one. That's better. Okay, I'm here. I'm just small. Good morning, Joanna. Phew, that was spooky. Let me see if I can get back to my face. No, the face view is happily not working. Morning, Kay. Oh, you couldn't make it up, could you? Hey ho. Right, I need to just do a couple of adjustments because at the moment I can see almost none of the comments. So let me see if I can drag that across a bit. Let's see. That's better. Morning, Rose. Morning, Karen. So yes, apologies that my face picture has frozen. So I think I'm going to leave it there just in case it solves itself. But yes, it's frozen. So I hope everyone had a good weekend. We had the bank holiday, obviously. Morning, Jan. So yes, we had the bank holiday because of the coronation, which was amazing. Coffee, not that you can see, but I'm about to take a sip of coffee. All the cameras were working fine until I went live. And then I noticed that my face camera was frozen. Hey ho. So I had a choice of either rebooting everything or not. So I went for not. So back end of last week, things started going a bit pear-shaped. Mostly because I was doing the election. So I was working for the election. I did the poll station on the Thursday and the count on Friday. And I have never been so tired in my life before. 17-hour day followed by a 12-hour day was not my idea of fun. But anyway, in amongst all this, YouTube decided it was going to have a blip and wouldn't let me upload my Thursday video that I had recorded for you. It was YouTube, after yelling at my laptop for a long while, it was only actually yesterday that I discovered it was YouTube having a blip. Hello, Jan. Hello, Sherry. Hello, Pam. Hello, Leslie. I think I've caught up. So yes, my face camera is not working. For some reason, it decided to freeze just as I was going live. Life has been fairly frenetic. Anyway, so in amongst all this, I have some underlying health issues, which decided they were flaring up over the weekend. Because I was so tired, probably. So, hence there was no Saturday video, and hence I didn't manage to upload the Thursday video. It will go up at some point. The pictures were there on my website, but anyway, enough of that. Hi, Nora. Thank you for your email. I haven't replied yet, but thank you for your email. So, today I am playing with Cheerful Daisies, which is new. Can someone just confirm that you can hear me? Only because I'm sure you would have said by now, but only because everything else is going pear-shaped. It looks to me like you can hear me, but because my face camera has frozen, I wouldn't put it past everything having frozen. So if someone could just confirm that, I would be very, very pleased. So yes. So, Cheerful Daisies, it comes with a die pack. Thank you, Joanna. Because, yeah, everything else has gone pear-shaped, so why shouldn't the sound? I did check the sound, and because there was a software update, I did actually have to play with that, so... Anywho, so I've already taken this die out, which doesn't work with the stamp sets. It's just a standalone. I did just want to check that I have got what I'm hoping I have got. Yes, I have. because I wanted a water painter with some water in it. Call me old-fashioned, because I do. Right, so I need to get on to, well, quite, Sherry. That would be that would be good. Thank you, Jan. Yeah, the coronation was amazing. If we do nothing else well in the UK, we do pomp and ceremony. But I'm still catching up with the concert that was on Sunday evening. So, slug of coffee, sorry. I'm going to have to tell you when I'm having coffee. Right, so I have got this ready to go. I've also got a piece of our watercolour paper, which I have run through the die cutter a couple of times just to smooth it out. And because I like it smoother than it is. So I'm just going to trim this down, and I'm going to die cut this. And I want to do this first, then I will tell you what I'm doing for this card. And actually it may be the second card I do, because this will need to dry. And short of having you watch me drying it with my heat gun, you know. You're looking to get this set, are you, Pam? Good. So I've got new plates. I even got a new base plate. I decided that new catalogue meant new plate. I actually used this I did an event for my sister-in-law, her adult guides, on Tuesday. I probably said that last Tuesday. Anyway, I broke out a new pack of plates specially for that. So I've just realised how much cat fur there is on my jumper. Right, so let's just see if that has cut. Yes, I think it has. With watercolour paper, I do like to just check because it is that bit thicker. I think it is a lovely, lovely set. I mean, I know it was on pre-order, so a few people have it already, but I'm just going to bring in my little bit pot for scrappy scraps. I may have to run this through again just to get a few last bits out, but we'll give it a go. It's your prize selection. It is, isn't it? I can order it now. I must order it. Sorry, aren't I dreadful? I completely forgot, but you're right. It is your prize selection, Pam, and I must order it for you. It's all right. I have an order I need to put in because Jan ordered a paper share after the deadline and after I had placed the order. So I need to put that order in anyway, so that's fine. Because I have enough of some stuff, but not enough of everything for Jan's paper share. So yes, I am hopeful that my underlying health will sort itself out. I'm going to be taking life a little gently in the next few weeks. Yeah, I need to put this through the die cutter again. So things are going to be a bit quiet. Just so you are aware. You couldn't see the concert. It's on iPlayer. Do you not get iPlayer in the States? Possibly not. Oh, Kate and Charlotte were stunning. Absolutely stunning. Kate and Mini-Me. And young Louis, I mean, I know he did go out partway through the service, but the service was 2 hours long. He's only just 5. That's a bit better. That's a bit betterer. It's actually coming out. But yes, they all did jolly well. So, got all the bits out of that. Just need to take the little bitty bits out, and then we can start playing with this properly. Hello, Shaz. So yes, if I am a bit quiet over the next few weeks, it is because I am trying to get myself fit again for Norway, because it's not long now. And I have to say, yesterday we had our village kind of event yesterday. Lots of the local organisations held a celebration tea in our local pub. I say local, it sounds like we've got more than one in our pub. They were very, very lucky because it actually stopped raining long enough for them to have their scheduled running order. But it gave me an opportunity to wear my new jumper, which is wonderful. Deborah, that looks... Oh, right, I'm with you. It said, good morning, Liz. Good morning, Liz from Michigan, as opposed to good morning, Liz from Michigan. Hello. Right, I have a very, very mucky... In fact, let's see if I can get a slightly less mucky sheet. That one, the one that says no glue, will be a good one. So I am going to grab a spritzer, which has got some water in it. Hurrah. I'm just going to pick this up and spritz it off the camera because otherwise it'll go everywhere. So I've got that quite wet and I'm going to add some colour. I'm going to start with Wild Wheat. This is a new colour, obviously, it's one of the new ink colours. And because it's new, it doesn't want to give yet. That's better. So I've cat fur. So as you can see, I've spritzed that. I've got ink in my lid and a bit more water. Come on. There we go. And I'm just going to add some Wild Wheat to the middle to begin with, and it will move out. The colours in the matching designer series paper are amazing. It's a lot of the new colours and the new ink colours. There are some existing colours as well, but it is predominantly new and in colour, or new returning, you know what I mean. Right, I need a cloth. Oh, wrong cloth. I want that cloth because this one's more absorbent. So clear that out so we don't have any more Wild Wheat. There we go. So we've got a nice dark centre, and I think I'm going to go Lemon Lolly. Oh, Priscilla, it's gorgeous, the DSP. So what I am going to be using are some of the cut apart pieces, because some of them are a little challenging, particularly for those of us who don't have the 8.5 by 11 paper. So I'm just doing a very light wash of Lemon Lolly to go with this. I might have to dry the lid and get some more ink out because Lemon Lolly is such a light colour that a light wash is very, very light. Yeah, need some more ink, so let's... Now I'm cleaning that because I don't want to put water onto the ink pad. I could just get the re-inker and use the re-inker instead, but that would be too easy. It's the other side of the room in a general melee of re-inkers. Now I am going to have to finish reasonably promptly today because today is the day from, well, you know where. In that I've got chiropractor immediately after this, then I've got the hygienist, and I've got the WI, and there's something else that I seem to remember that I've got at some point later today. So it is a bit of a day from, yeah, bit of a busy day, I think is what I'm trying to say. Right, so let's clean that out. Hopefully I've got enough water left, yes. Now, I won't turn that back up the other way until nearer the time. Hello, Jules from New Zealand. I'm going to use Pretty Peacock for my leaves, but obviously a wash of Pretty Peacock. So let's just add some more water to the leaves, and then hopefully I can just pick up the ink and dabble it on. It will look fine once it's on the paper. Garden Green is in the paper as well, but I wanted to stick with these colours for this particular card. Right, so that's that. Okay. Right, so that needs to dry. I will give it a bit of a go, and then I'm going to pop it to one side to... thought I was going to take it easier. Yeah, well, that was before my diary. My diary was always looking like my diary was looking like. So I didn't really have much choice short of cancelling things, and I couldn't really cancel them. So, yeah, I'm taking it easier from a work point of view. Right, okay, so... some things were postponed from last week. I was supposed to be going to see the chiropractor last Wednesday, and I just went, I'm sorry, I'm not putting anything in my diary last week, because it was just frenetic. Right, I'm going to leave that now just to one side, just to finish drying. It's not bad, but I just like it a little drier. And I will move on to my, what in my head is my second card. So let's have a look at the cut apart in both big and small. Where did I put the paper? If I could find the paper, that would help, wouldn't it? I to put it away, which is daft. No. Okay, would someone like to tell me? Oh, there it is. I had it over by my inks so that I could see what colours I needed. So this is the cut apart sheet. It is actually quite easy to cut once you kind of get your head around it. So the first cut would be here, then you would cut here, then you would cut here, and then you can cut the individual bits. But this obviously is the first cut. So I have cut all of the pieces, and the idea is I'm going to try and use them. I don't think I'll be able to get through all of them in what's left of the hour, but you get where I'm coming from. And what I will do is finish making a whole batch, which I'll put on my website over the next few days. So, for this one, I'm going to use Copper Clay and this pattern. So this is Azure Blue, which is a gorgeous, gorgeous colour. Cat fur. So what I've done is I've cut everything out. I've cut my main mat, my usual mat. Let's turn that over so it's the right way round. So this is my usual mat. This I'm then going to cut down so that it fits the proportions that I want. So, let me grab my... So normally my second layer would be 5.5 by 3 3/4. So let's start by measuring this. This is not wide enough to do 5.5. It is about 5 1/4. So I need to bear that in mind. So I'm taking off from this size, so from my 5 5/8, I'm taking 3/8 of an inch off. So I'm going to take 3/8 of an inch off this. I'm going to do it on the bottom because I don't want to lose this top. Whoops, let's not score it. Let's actually cut it. So this is 3/8 of an inch, which means then this has got the right proportions to go on here, or would have done if I'd actually taken, and that is 3/8, and that's 3/8. No, it is right. It is right. So yes, so this just goes, assuming I've got this cut down the right size. Ah, that's the problem. This is too wide. So I need to take just the smallest bit off, but it will make a huge difference. Don't you love it when a plan comes together? That's better. Right, I'm not going to do much with this. I might... I'm just wondering whether I need to introduce an azure blue. I think I do. I'm going to go azure blue between the copper clay and the thing. So I've scored this in the wrong place. I'm very happy to cut it down. So I need a piece that is 3 3/4 by 5 1/2. So it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that's the wrong. There's something very odd about this. I've not measured correctly. I think I need to take another little bit off here because those work. I think I've mismeasured somewhere. So I'm going to take 1/8 of an inch off the top. Somewhere along the line I have mismeasured. Yes, because this needs to be 3 1/2 and it's not. Oh, take it off the bottom. Take it off the bottom, Liz. Take it off the bottom. There we go. Phew! Phew! I knew there was something going on that was a bit wrong. That looks better. Definitely better. Right, now we have azure blue ribbon. It's one of the sheer ribbons. It's gorgeous. And it's got a little bit of sparkle. So I'm going to use some of that. So I'm going to stick my paper to my azure blue. Then I'm going to wrap the ribbon round, and then I'm going to pop it onto the copper clay. There we go. So Seal Plus for my ribbon, and I'm just going to pop it across the bottom here. So I don't need much. You've all gone terribly quiet, which you know worries me, particularly bearing in mind that my YouTube has decided to play up today. Right, so this is going to go on the front, just there. So using my grid paper as a guide, I'm going to add need a bit more. Need a bit more. That's better. That's betterer. There we go. So that's our front. I will actually take a little bit more just to do a small knot. You're still watching, good. Leslie's order arrived yesterday, including lots of embellishments and ribbons. So my my order for product shares has arrived, and I have actually managed to chop everything up, except they missed out some of the embellishments. So I had to, fortunately Germany was not on holiday yesterday, which is where the warehouse is for Europe, for those of you who don't know. So I emailed them and said, help! help, you've missed out some of my product. And because I had expedited my original order, I reminded them that it would be pretty nice if sorry, they're not even, if they expedited my correction. So that should be arriving later today. Fingers crossed, all things being equal. You're concentrating. Hello, Sally from Georgia. Isn't it a gorgeous colour combination? I love it. Sorry, I've got very weepy eye this morning. It's hay fever. It's nothing more exciting than that. Right, I am thinking that I want a sentiment, because we do have in the die set a sentiment label. So it would be rude not to, really. So these are slightly down. I might do your friendship means everything if it fits, and just cut this down. It may not fit. Let's have a look. It's going to be pretty tight, but it will do. It will do it. With the help of some sticky tape, it will work. Right, block would always be useful. I'm going to go copper clay, because we've got copper clay going on anyway. Now, anyone who doesn't know why I did that, let me explain. So, Azure Blue is gorgeous. So yes, rubbing that, because when they make the photopolymer stamps, they have to add kind of like a non-stick spray to the mould. Sometimes there's a bit of a residue, so I do like to just rub it to make sure the residue is removed. Otherwise your first few stamp images can be a bit not great. So yeah, let's just clean that before I go on. Gotta love a stamping scrub. There we go. Okay, as it is, my copper clay is very juicy, so it is quite, what's the word I'm looking for? It's spread a bit. Run, that's the word I'm looking for. Okay, so I've got some bits of tape here. So let's get this so that everything is straight. Now I don't mind if I come off the end, because I'm going to be coming back to cut this down. So let's have a piece there and a piece there. Grab my baby. My little baby. Just realised I've put my card on top of a wet cloth. Not a great idea. And do remember, if you're having problems getting your plates through your mini, offset the plates so that you've got the bottom plate and the top plate forward and the middle plate back. So like this, so they're all offset. Otherwise you're trying to put something very fat through what could be a very narrow hole. Every cut and emboss is slightly different from that point of view. So what works for one may not be the same as what works for someone else. So we've got that, and we want to cut it down. Now with the stitched frames, it's actually quite easy, because you can lock the stitches in. That looks about right. So let's just pop that on. So the stitches will help keep everything in place. And I'm not going to run it all the way through, because I don't want this end to end up with stitching where it's not meant to be. So I'm just going to go through and then back. And then that should mean we've got a nice small label. that is the right size for the sentiment that I've chosen. Get rid of the scrappy scraps. And once I've got that on, I'm going to have another slug of coffee. So, glue. I think I might need some more glue, but let's start with, I like to encase my ribbon in Seal Plus so that I know it's not going anywhere. And then just a scribble around the outside. Pop this onto our layer, and it's got the tiniest little margin, like that. Press from the back. Make sure my card is the right way up and the right way round, like that. Press from the back. And then this I'm just going to add down here on some dimensionals. But what I want, if I can find them, is my baby ones. Where are my babies? Somewhere I had some mini glue mini dimensionals, because they have the nice edge pieces. No, apparently not. That's fine. We'll use these edge pieces instead. Sticky scissors. So I'm just going to trim all the way down the side here, and then one piece, two piece, because I'm not putting dimensional where the ribbon is, because that can then lift it up. So I've just got these narrow pieces. You could use foam strips, but they are a little fatter. And for the UK, I know I say this every time, for the UK that will turn it from a letter to a large letter, which is never a good idea from a postage point of view. So get that square on the ribbon, like that. So that's our friendship. Your friendship means everything. I'm wondering if can't decide whether to add some copper clay. I think I will. Copper clay dots. Actually, no, I'm going to go there. And this one I'm going to tuck in so that it does go over the ribbon a little bit. It helps keep it in place, and we've got a little triangle round our sentiment, which is never a bad thing. I love these dots. Oh, copper clay is gorgeous. Loving copper clay. So there is our final card. So that's that one. Let's go back to the one we were playing with before, which is the one with this. This is not too bad, actually. So for this one, we're going Pretty Peacock, which is why I used peacock for the leaves. I've got some of the Distressed Gold, and where you gone? Where you gone? No, it wasn't that. It was this one I was going to use. So we're going to use this as our layer, which I'm going to cut down, hopefully right first time. I'm looking at the camera as if people can see me. Oh, and I was going to have a slug of coffee. So there's that. There's the coffee. Drinking it before it gets cold is always a plan. So let's do my maths again. So this is 5 5/8 by 3 7/8. This is 5 1/4. So I'm taking 3/8 of an inch off. No, that's where I went wrong. I'm taking 3/8 of an inch off my measurement. And normally it's 3 7/8, so I need to come down to 3 1/2. This is where I went wrong before. I was very sad about soft suede, but yeah, copper clay has just about got me over it. It's a bit like cinnamon cider. I love cinnamon cider. So yes, that's where I went wrong with the previous card. I took 3/8 of an inch off rather than taking 3/8 of an inch off my measurement. Sad. So this is then going to fit perfectly on there. So I'm going to add some adhesive. Doesn't that gold just work so well with the wild wheat? Now, someone told me, no, let's go back one. Someone was up saying in one of our Facebook groups, how can you get your head around all the new ink colours? Because they are a little challenging. And someone said, think of them as metals. So, wild wheat is gold. Pebbled Path is pewter. Moody Mauve is rose gold. Copper Clay is copper. Surprise, surprise. And Azure Blue is silver. And if you think of them as metals, they just... Sorry, Boho Blue is silver. They just work. So that's going to go on there. This is going to go on here. Like that, and we are going to have a sentiment and we're going to have some ribbon. So actually that's going to go up a bit. So I'm going to use wild wheat. So we're going to have some wild wheat down here. I'm not going to do a fake knot, I'm just going to have the wild wheat. So I want it about there, and I think I'm just going to have You Made My Day at the bottom. So I want it about there. So turn that over. Oh, buried under dimensionals. So that's there. So let's follow that across to there. Now do be careful when you're using Seal Plus on card. You can, if you're not careful, you can delaminate the card layers. Hello Rachel, how are you? So just bear that in mind, that you don't want to delaminate your cardstock. So this is going to go here like that. It's going to be on dimensionals. Definitely going to need some minis. So somewhere I've lost my little minis, but I'll start a new one. It's fine. When I find the ones that I thought were open, I can use them up. Get that off there, then I can see a bit better. So I'm not going to go mad with dimensionals, I'm just going to pop them in a few strategic places. Individual petals need a bit of help. Wild wheat, I think, is a gorgeous colour, okay? I think it is being maligned by a lot of people. I mean, look, wild wheat and Pretty Peacock. It's a match made in heaven. Who would have thought, frankly, that wild wheat and Pretty Peacock would go together, but they do. So that's an individual petal, so I'm more worried about that than I am that, although I am going to put one there as well. I'll have one there. And I'll have one there. A lot of this is dependent on where there's space. really, so let's take that off before it gets set. And where's my sticky scissors? There they are. So those of you who don't follow me regularly, I have a separate pair of scissors for cutting adhesives, because there are occasions when you do need to cut adhesives. So I have a separate pair of scissors for those so they don't get all clogged up. Now I'm going to just leave the leaves, because you can leave leaves. Oh, they are going to be great for autumn, Rachel. Absolutely perfect for autumn. Right, we do need something up there, and I think that does it. Something else there. Yep. Right, that should do, because it's only to stick it to the front of a card. It's not having anything hanging off it, so that's fine. Ooh. So this is now proper dry. So having blasted it with the heat gun and popped it to one side, it has dried out perfectly. I think to have used it any sooner would have been too soon. You have a separate pair as well, do you, Karen? Yeah, it makes such a difference. Such a difference. I think it's just these two now. Get rid of the bits. That's what a hoover is for. So that's that. Right, so "You made my day" is the sentiment we're going to use. And then I'm hoping I've got time for one final quick card. Oops, let's take a brush off the brush stands and flash a light. Let's just pop that on properly. There we go. Right, a narrow strip. Let's see if what have I got in the way of narrow strips. Yep, that'll do. Is that straight? Yep. Right, Pretty Peacock. No, I'm going to go Wild Wheat. So there. It's autumn in Oz, of course. Oh, one of my lights is a bit iffy butty. I know the feeling, frankly. You made my day. There we go. So, mini dimensionals on the back of that. Just 3. Ooh, right, okay, I know what I'm going to do. So, let's add some adhesive to the back of this. Where's it gone? It's buried again. Good heavens. And my glue, where's my glue gone? There it is, in the pot where it's meant to be. Don't need the dimensional backing. It has attached itself. Dimensional backing is now on the front of the card instead. So attractive. One of the joys of using liquid adhesive is if it's slightly in the wrong place, you can move it for a little while, which is what I was doing there. Right, so this I'm going to have right up to the edge of the card. For some reason that looks better. Goes down to about 6 or 8 degrees where you are in Sydney. The mountain areas have loads of... They've had snow already, good heavens. No cashmere wrist warmers, spring has sprung. No, it's just because I was in a bit of a rush. And therefore they got left out. Right, so I'm going to grab those lovely dots again. And I'm going to go wild wheat because that's kind of the colour that we're in. So... dots, they are just, oh, so amazing. They're like, this is like tiger's eye. So as ever, I'm going for an odd number. I shall go in there. And then let's use a diddy one for just there. There we go, and that will help keep that leaf up. So that's that one. Which are they? They're the in colour dots. No, Priscilla, no one, I don't think anyone apart from the concept artists would have thought of putting wild wheat and pretty peacock together. But that's why they're paid to do that. Spring's your favourite seasons, Shelley. Sherry, even. Yeah, it's not really come to the UK yet. It was lovely on Sunday. Horrible for the coronation on Saturday. Right, so let's have a look at what we've got left out of our cut apart. Got about 10 minutes. So I'm going to do this and I'm going to make it a really, really quick card. Really quick. So the first thing I'm going to do is make sure I know how big this is. I think it's going to be a square, but it may not be. So it is 4 inches by 4 inches. Perfect. So I'm going to take copper clay, because it is just there. So copper clay, perfect sized piece. So this is going to be our card base. So I need a piece that is, let's see, 8.5. So I'm going to go 4 1/4 for my card base. So this is going to be 8.5. I'm going to cut it there first because I think I'm going to get more out of what's left if I do that. So 8.5 by 4 1/4. So for those of you in North America, you're in perfect position. But our cardstock is 8 1/4 wide. It really doesn't help. So 8.5, sorry, 4 1/4. So we've got a 4 1/4 inch card base. So that's going to go on there. But I've got other layers that I can put in. And I think is that wild wheat? No, I don't think it is. I think that's crushed curry. So let's grab some crushed curry, because crushed curry is in the paper. Yep, it is. It's crushed curry. So, whoa, who thought that was bright? So 4 1/8. Never thought of crushed curry as bright, but having used fairly toned down colours for these cards, suddenly it looks bright. So that's going to go on there. So we've just got that hint of the yellow round the outside, which is actually bringing that yellow in perfectly. And, ooh, decisions. I'm tempted not to do too much. They are just like amber jewels, okay, those dots. I think this is one of those cards that really doesn't need terribly much, because it's got all of it going in the paper. It's just happening in the paper. And I'm thinking, let's just try, shall we? Yeah, so it will fit in a standard C6 envelope for those of us in non-letter size countries. A standard Stampin' Up envelope is large enough for this, so that can go on there like that. But the question is, what more does it need? And it does need something, and I think all it actually needs is the sentiment across the bottom, and I think I'm going to use the same one. So I think I'm going to go garden green, which is not a colour I often use. So I'm going to do that same strip. Your internet froze, Nora. I'm so sorry. It happens sometimes. Oh, thank you, Leslie. Yes, thumbs up is always appreciated. Of course, if this is the first time you're watching, if you want to subscribe, that's always wonderful. If you are watching on the replay, you can leave any questions or comments below the description bar. And I will get back to you. I have got 4 comments I need to get back to, which I have to say I've ignored over the weekend. So you made my day. So the question is, do we have, I think we have it there. So what I'm going to do is again add some dimensionals to the back. I don't think it needs much more. Oh, we've got garden green ribbon, which I keep forgetting about. Right, it's going to be about there. I can see where the sentiment is through. Let's use one more. I'm just wondering whether having it on top or with ribbon round it. No, I'm going to keep it simple. Keep it simple, stupid. So let's stick this down, because I'm not, otherwise I'm not going to be able to cut to the edge of the copper clay if this isn't stuck down. Actually, this isn't copper clay, this is pecan pie, but it works. It was meant to be copper clay, but it's actually pecan pie. Oops. Did your thumbs up on the way in. Thank you, Joanna. Right, so let's remove these. Now, obviously, they are going to need liners, but I will, over the next 2 or 3 days, use the rest of the cutter parts to make more relatively simple cards, because I think the cutter part works well with just simple things. And then I'm going to cut from the back like that. So those are our 3 cards. Really easy to do these. That's basically just the cutter part and a sentiment with a bit of ribbon, some watercolour-esque stuff, and a sentiment, and a sentiment. I mean, how easy can that be? Now, this is the point where I would normally flip the camera up and say how nice it was of you to join me today. So I'll have to do it without doing that, because the camera's still not working. At least I say the camera's still not working. It's a wonderful sheet of DSP. No, the camera's still not working. So I could come in, couldn't I? Hello, it's me. Sorry, don't know why I did that, but hey. But yeah, the cut apart is brilliant. I am going to use quite a lot of this paper because I think people are scared of it. And I think you don't need to be scared of it because I think it's stunning. But I think the patterns are really quite bold, and I think that's what frightens people. Like, what would you do with that? I know what I would do with it, but some of them really are quite challenging. What would you do with that? And I think you need to just think small pieces, and that's why it's a challenge, is because people are looking at the big piece, not the little piece. Oh, Karen, you're not going to be disappointed when you get it. It is stunning. So thank you very much. I'm sorry the front-facing camera isn't working today, but, you know, hey. Thank you very much for joining me today. I do hope you've enjoyed it. A thumbs up is always appreciated. If you want to share to Pinterest, please feel free. And I will see you again on Thursday, 3 p.m. UK time. It's just coming up to noon for those of you who need to know when that might be. It will be in 3 hours from now, but on Thursday. Thank you very much indeed. I will see you again soon. Bye for now. It's almost like going back to when I did just the downward facing camera. Anyway, bye.